Little extended track packing here this evening as we continue to work in the racing service. As you can tell right there, very tacky, very heavy. So working that in just a little bit longer right here. We'll get you fired up with opening ceremonies coming up shortly as we get set for Friday Night Lights right here at historic, world-famous Heart of Texas Speedway. Big night of action tonight. All your local classes, kids power wheel races coming up at intermission. Sit back, relax, and enjoy an exciting night of action right here at your Heart of Texas Speedway. Got some hot laps coming up. We've got them in the chute. We'll roll them out, get hot laps rolling here, and then get you into opening ceremonies for our Friday night program right here at your weekly Friday night racetrack, Heart of Texas Speedway. Outlaw Street Stocks, IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Mods, IMCA Stock Cars, and Factory Stocks. And it is double main events tonight for your IMCA Modifieds, trying to make up that rain out from the May 13th race. So at the conclusion of the program tonight, we will have a bonus feature race for you for the Modifieds. So you can see the Modifieds running 2 features tonight, along with all the regular program. And don't forget, like I talked about, the big event of the night, kids power wheel races on the racetrack. That happens at intermission right here at Heart of Texas Speedway. Stock cars rolling out onto the racetrack for hot laps. Stock cars on the racetrack. off and rolling with hot laps here at Heart of Texas Speedway. Friday Night Lights happening. A little bit of a delayed start. We got a real heavy racetrack, so we had some extended track packing that was going on. We welcome in the audience checking in on Race on Texas, all access, raceontexas.com. Folks all around the country checking in right here at the world-famous historic Heart of Texas Speedway. My name is Rodney Rodriguez. Ruben Medeles joins me tonight as we go hand in hand right here tonight. Ruben, welcome to Heart of Texas Speedway. Welcome back. We've got a great local show on tap tonight. Looking forward to working with you, man.
Well, thank you so much, Rodney. Thank you so much for letting me play in your sandbox here, my friend. Race on Texas. You fans are in for a good show, and you fans here tonight. How about this? 87 race cars in the house tonight. You have 13 modifieds, 15 sport mods, 19 stock cars, 23 factory stocks, and 17 street stocks. Man, oh man, it's going to be a great night tonight. We're talking about it. The weather, it's nice and cool. Beautiful day. This racetrack is hooked up. Perfect ingredients for a good night of action.
Absolutely. Going to be a fantastic night of action. And oh, by the way, the modifieds tonight run 2 main events. We're making up a rain date for May the 13th. So you'll get to see these modifieds running 2 features tonight.
And the modified talent here is absolutely amazing. You have Matthew Day in the house. You have Jeff Emerson in the house, David Good Jr., Kevin Green, Raymond McMahon, and Chris Morris. And the list just goes on and on with all the great modified drivers here in attendance tonight.
So they roll them around, working towards those opening ceremonies. Like I said, just a little bit delayed right here as we're working in the racetrack. We had a little bit of precipitation in the Waco area earlier in the evening. All of that has passed. It was actually gray clouds over us earlier. Still some cloud cover, but like Ruben, we were talking about, there's not a lot of wind happening. It's not hot. This track is heavy. It's tacky, and we're going to have a really good race night tonight.
Yeah, we really are. And obviously, you look at this racetrack. This is one of my favorite tracks in Texas because I absolutely love bull rings. Every time I get to go to the state of Illinois or, other tracks like that where they have bull rings, I absolutely love. And this racetrack hooked up is going to be a good show. So you fans are definitely going to get what your money's worth here tonight. And thank you all so much for joining us.
Absolutely. And this one right here, Heart of Texas Speedway, over 55 years in operation right here. This is one of the benchmark racetracks. When you talk to folks around the country, they talk about racing in Texas. They always mention Heart of Texas Speedway. Ruben, I talk to a lot of people, and they're like, hey, I'm going to the NASCAR track in Waco. I'm like, that's not the NASCAR track. That one's further down.
Yeah, obviously Heart of Texas Speedway, as he said, is very legendary. It's historic. It's very iconic. And people know where this racetrack is. It's one of a kind. And, how about this? I know you fans probably can't hear me, but turns 1 and 2, how about that cool catwalk up there? And you have the little grandstand. That's very unique here at Heart of Texas Speedway as well.
Absolutely, and we are set to go. It is time for opening ceremonies right here. Friday Night Lights happening at the world-famous Heart of Texas Speedway. It is Friday night racing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Heart of Texas Speedway. It's time to go racing. We would like to just a couple of housekeeping reminders, guys, as we always do. First and foremost, if you did rent one of those chairbacks from the downstairs area, if you would, at the end of the night, please return that to that location where you rented that from. That would help us with our post-race picking stuff up. If you would take that back down to the trailer, we would appreciate that very much. Any trash that you may have, if you can put that in the trash receptacle here around the facility, we would appreciate that as well. And we also want to emphasize throughout the night, as the racing is going on, please refrain from being down along that catwalk right there and leaning on that fence area right there. We do not allow people to be leaning there, because if something happens or if you're standing there, you get dirt, you get parts up off the racetrack, that could be a very unfortunate situation. So please refrain from doing that throughout the night. As we always do, guys, I know that we just went through Memorial Day weekend, and what a Memorial Day weekend it was, and we remember all of those folks that paid the ultimate sacrifice to serve our country. They are the true heroes, and of course our hearts are still with the folks affected by the tragedy in Uvalde. We're brokenhearted. We are hurting for them. They are in our state, and we pray. And we pray for those folks. If you would, as we always do, any military, whether past or active, please rise and let us applaud you. Because as we say right here at Heart of Texas Speedway, you are the true heroes. You are the true heroes that keep the dream alive and make this the greatest country. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much. As well, any folks working along the front lines, and when we talk about now, when we talk about 2020, 2021, 2022, I'm talking front line. If you're a retail worker, you're keeping this country going. You are the ones with all the shortages and inflation and everything that's going on. If you are a frontline worker or your EMS, your whatever that may be, please stand. We want to honor you as well, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. You guys are the backbone to our country, and we appreciate each and every one of you. As we always do, rolling into our opening ceremonies, we are going to turn it over to our track chaplain, Mr. Jim Fielding, as he will lead us in our opening prayer and invocation. If you would rise as you were able. And at the conclusion of the invocation with Jim Fielding tonight, we will lead you in to the most popular song in the country each and every day, our national anthem. Yes. Pastor Jim?
Thank you, Rodney. Before we pray, I have a few prayer requests that was called to me today. Bill Adamczyk, he was a previous owner of the racetrack. His wife, Norma, fell and is in not very good shape. She's still in the trauma part of the hospital. So if you will, please lift her up this week in your quiet time in prayer. Mark Hargrove, one of our employees here at Arctic Speedway, is in ICU. I just ask you to think about him as he tries to recover. And the Miller family, think about that family as well in your quiet time. Let's pray. Father God, we come to you and thank you and praise you for your love and your grace. Lord, I lift up each one of these mentioned today, Lord, and just ask for your healing hand upon them. Lord, I ask you to be with each family member and just give them peace and comfort during this time. Lord, thank you for our drivers, and we lift each one up to you right now, Lord, and just ask for watch, care, and safety over each one, for each person in the pits, their pit crew, and their families as well. Lord, thank you for these fans, and I lift each one up to you today too as well, and ask, Lord, for health and prosperity, and for traveling mercies home to loved ones tonight. Lord, thank you for our veterans, the men and women that fought for our freedoms, and the ones that are right now currently protecting them. I just ask for watch, care, and safety for them, Lord, and a special blessing upon all of them. And Lord, most of all, thank you for sending your Son that died for us on the cross. And all this will praise and glorify you. For it's in his holy name we pray. Amen.
It is time for the Friday Night Lights to shine bright over world-famous historic Heart of Texas Speedway. We're rolling them out onto the racetrack. You've got your Outlaw Street Stocks, your Modifieds, your Sport Mods, IMCA stock cars, and factory stocks. Dual main events tonight for your IMCA Modifieds race cars coming out onto the track. Here comes heat race number 1, setting your starting lineup for you. On the point in car number 4725. Keep your eye on that. He is in the good spot. It is Benji Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick on the point on the outside. In car number 1B, it is a fast-moving car of Brandon Hood. Row 2 on the inside, car number 225. That is Jeff Williams on the outside, the 18K, Tommy Honey. Row 3 on the inside. In the 9G, it's Drew Garcia out of Waxahachie. On the outside, in the 3X, Travis Norman. Row 4 on the inside, Trey Vota. In car 716 on the outside, it's Superman Cody Daniel in the 76S. Also scheduled to go is Barry Gaston in car number 8, but we do not see him on the racetrack. We get set to go. So it is showtime right here, Ruben. Here we go, Friday Night Lights, and we started off with the Outlaw Street Stocks.
Yep, and we thank you all so much for joining us here at the heart of Texas Speedway, especially if you're watching on Race on Texas. Sit back, relax, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday Night Lights, June the 3rd, here at the heart of Texas Speedway, and we're green.
Off they go, firing down into turn number 1 on the top side. It's Hood way up the racetrack. Here's Kirkpatrick. He'll slam it down to the inside. Onto the back straightaway they go. It's 1.5 car lengths into turn number 1, or turn number 3. Tommy Honey riding in second, Jeff Williams behind him. They go way up to the top of the racetrack. Look at that heavy, tacky racetrack.
Yeah, they're slipping and sliding all over the place, and this one is really going to come down to good driver skill. And right now they're side by side down the back straightaway for the lead. Who's it going to be? Give it to the number 13 machine, but not for long, because here comes the number 18K of Tommy down the bottom of the speedway. They're still side by side off of corner number 4.
You got a good battle right there as they make their way down the front straightaway once again down into turn number 1. Up on the top side, it's Benji Kirkpatrick. Here's Tommy Honey working down at the bottom of the racetrack. Honey gets back in line. Cody Daniel rides in the 3rd spot, followed by Brandon Hood and Jeff Williams rounding out the top 5. Out of corner number 4, here they come, side by side momentarily, but it is Kirkpatrick. He will hold on, and he will lead by a car length and a half as they make their way into turn number 1.
Yeah, Benji Kirkpatrick able to drive away on that top side and taking the race lead over Tommy Honey. And Honey not going to give up on that bottom group, though. He's going to go back after it in the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, man, Kirkpatrick just smooth in the top side of the speedway.
Absolutely. Cannot get the drive down at the bottom of the racetrack. As we said, racetrack very tacky. And you watch Benji Kirkpatrick working up on the top side. Benji Kirkpatrick is your point leader in the Outlaw Street Stocks as he rides in the 13 car. We are past the halfway point. Here's Honey coming back down on the inside once again. Just can't get the drive off of the corner right there, Ruben. He'll get back in line once again. Up to the top of the racetrack goes Kirkpatrick. You got Brandon Hood showing smoke, trouble over in turn number 3 and 4. You got one turn sideways over way. That is Storm and Travis Norman up to the top of the racetrack. So Norman sits up at the top of the racetrack. You got smoke pouring out of the right side of the race car. So we'll have to take a look right there, but we're already seeing it right here, Ruben, as it's happening. Going to the top of the racetrack. Not quite on the cushion at this point, but there is no grip down at the bottom.
Yeah, that bottom groove is just so hard to get. You could get a good entry, but if you just carry too much momentum, it's really going to pitch the car sideways and really ruin your exit off the corners. So the bottom is really, really tricky right now, but the top groove is really good. But we saw some drivers run that top groove, and if you're not so good on the gas letting in and out, you're going to do exactly that, overshoot the corner. So if you're the leader right now, you're in good hands, but you got to be consistent on that top groove because it could treat you well or treat you really bad.
Absolutely. Can be your best friend or your worst enemy for Travis Norman. That is the case over there. As Storm and Travis Norman will get the shove over in between turns 3 and 4. We get ready for a Texas two-step restart over on the back straightaway. It's Benji Kirkpatrick, your race leader in car number 13. Inside of row number 2, Tommy Honey in the 18K. Flanking him on the outside, Cody Daniel in car number 76. Inside of row number 3, Brandon Hood. Flanking him on the outside is the 225 of Jeff Williams. Inside of that final row, there is the 716 of Trey Vota and the 9G of Drew Garcia. So it'll be Norman heading to the pits as we get set to go. And we should be good to go for a restart as we get set to go once again. Lights are about to go out on the racetrack. We will flash them right now. David Sisk in the birdcage as he is set and ready to go. He's got the green flag in hand. Out on the point, it is Kirkpatrick in the 13. He'll take him down into turn number 3. He is free to go whenever he wants. Tommy Honey pulls down to the inside. Green flag in the air. We are racing once again here at Heart of Texas Speedway on the hole shot. Into turn number 1, it's Benji Kirkpatrick.
And an excellent restart for Cody Daniel. Daniel going to go up high, and he'll get around Honey for the second spot. Good side-by-side battle down the back straightaway. Here comes the number 76 of Cody Daniel. Up on the high side off of corner number 4. Good battle for second.
2 sticks in the air that time by. 2 more times around for your race leader. The 13 of Benji Kirkpatrick back straightaway. They race side by side. Cody Daniel up on the top shelf. He'll dart into the second spot. Daniel with a good push into turn number 3. Up the track goes Kirkpatrick. White flag in the air. Quarter of a mile to go. One more time around.
One more to go, and it's going to be a shootout here as they go into 1 and 2. Kirkpatrick holding him off behind him. Now notice here, Rodney, Kirkpatrick was on the outside. Now he's going more to that middle groove, and Daniel, it was a good run, but he's going to have to settle for second off of corner number 4. Benji Kirkpatrick, winner of heat race number 1.
That is your point leader in the Outlaw Street Stocks, Cody Daniel. A nice drive up to the runner-up spot, Tommy Honey. Brandon Hood and Jeff Williams round out your top 5 in Outlaw Street Stock Heat Race number 1 here tonight at Heart of Texas Speedway. We get set immediately rolling out onto the racetrack. Here comes Heat Race number 2 for your Outlaw Street Stocks. On the point, out of Austin in car number 13, it's Jerry Frederick. On the outside, car number 68. The man, the myth, the legend, it is Wade White in car number 68. Row 2 on the inside, Eddie Thompson in the double deuce. On the outside, car number 32 is Joe Williams. Row 3 on the inside, in the X out of Nolanville is Gage Fuller. Flanking him on the outside in the 777 is James Honish. Honish in the 777. Taking a look, they're a little bit out of line. Fuller, it looks like we're missing 1 car. Final car on the racetrack is the 07D. Now the 07JD driven by Robert Black. 7 cars, 8 laps. We get set to go. Outlaw Street Stock Heat Race number 2.
And Rodney, you could tell already right away, you know, we saw Kirkpatrick running that outside groove really, really well. And he started going down towards the middle groove. You could see the track starting to smoothen out there in the bottom. So you know what that means. It's going to be an excellent racetrack as soon as it all pans out.
Absolutely. Here we go. It's Frederick on the point. Wade White on the outside. David Sisk is set. Green flag waves, and we're racing at Heart of Texas Speedway into turn number 1. Wade White up on the top side, and he will dart up the racetrack. Frederick with a good run, and Frederick darts down to the bottom of the racetrack, and he will take the field into turn number 3. Wade White all over the backside as they make their way out of turn number 4. Lap number 1 is Jerry Frederick.
Yeah, Frederick doing a solid job running that bottom groove. And right now the 22 machine also working that bottom groove. That is going to be Ed Thompson. Thompson down there on the bottom as well. So a couple of those guys are going to make that bottom groove work, but right now Frederick looking smooth up front here to lead lap number 2.
Here's Frederick bringing the field around. Wade White rides in the second spot, followed by the 32 car of Joe Williams. Into turn number 1 they go. They are rim riding up at the top of the racetrack. They make their way onto the back straightaway. James Honish rides in the 5th spot as he rides behind the double deuce. Top 3 cars trying to get away from the pack as they run identical lines coming out of the corner. Frederick holding on. Wade White and Joe Williams.
Yeah, Wade hanging on to that second spot. Wade White right there, followed by the number 32 machine of Joe Williams. Williams still in 3rd. The top 3 have driven away from the rest of the field right now. We'll see. We saw right now 3rd place in the last heat race. Hood had a good run there at the end. We'll see if right now 3rd place runner Joe Williams has a run.
That time they are halfway home for Jerry Frederick in car number 13. He leads by 5 car lengths down into the corner. Frederick holding on. Wade White as they go to the top of the racetrack. They make their way around. This is the halfway point. Pardon me. That time by the 3-car breakaway from the pack here in Outlaw Street Stock Heat Race number 2. Onto the back straightaway they go. They continue to hang on with Frederick on the point.
So this time, 2 laps to go in heat race number 2 and final heat race of the night for the Outlaw Street Stocks. It still continues to be Jerry Frederick up front, your leader, over Wade White. And Wade White has been closing the gap just a little bit, but Frederick has found enough momentum to put enough real estate between him and White for the top spot as the white flag flies. Time is running out.
Wade White trying to find a way to get up to the back bumper there of Jerry Frederick. He's not going to be able to do it down the front straightaway. Onto the back straightaway they go. They got 2 car lengths in between them, but a good pull right there for Frederick as he dives down into turn number 3. Wade White will sit content in the second spot. Checkered flag in the air. Outlaw Street Stock Heat Race number 2. Jerry Frederick, car number 13. Wade White, Joe Williams, car number 32. That is your top 3 as they race in Outlaw Street Stock Heat Race number 2. Getting set to roll out on the racetrack. You will see them many, many times tonight running dual main events. It'll be the ground-pounding stars of the IMCA Modifieds as they make their way onto the back straightaway. Let's set your starting lineup for heat race number 1, set to go on the point. In car number 77G, it is Gary Spears. Spears on the point in the 77G. On the outside, your point leader in the modifieds, car number 45T, Eric Tomlinson. Row 2 down on the inside, Matthew Day out of Farmersville in the 54T. On the outside, out of Buda in the 48R, is Raymond McSpadden. Row 3 on the inside, car number 5, it is local favorite in that car, Mr. Kevin Green. On the outside, out of Del Valle in car number 10, Robert Walton and Jeff Emerson. Out of Millsap, the big winner here last Sunday night. He will start shotgun on the field as we get set to go, Ruben. This is going to be a really, really good one.
When I heard there was dual modified features tonight, I was jumping up and down in my living room. I am absolutely ready for this, race fans. Modified action here, going to be dynamite here tonight. We have a stellar lineup here in heat race number 1. Off of corner number 4, Gary Spears, Eric Tomlinson, lead us to the green.
Off we go, modified heat race number 1. Tomlinson up on the top side. He'll take the whole shot into turn number 1. He'll dart off onto the back straightaway. Raymond McSpadden side by side. 77 car down on the inside. Here comes Kevin Green in the 5. Robert Walton up to the door right there of Matthew Day. They make their way around. Eric Tomlinson already about a 7-car length lead here in heat race number 1.
Yeah, you know McSpadden was going to waste 0 time getting to the front, and you know the other driver that wasn't going to waste any time was Kevin Green. Kevin Green has hundreds and thousands of laps around this racetrack, and Kevin Green, the local here from Waco, trying to get around number 77 to Gary Spears for that 3rd position, but right now Tomlinson jumping out to a very commanding lead early.
Very commanding lead indeed, 1.788 seconds for Eric Tomlinson out of turn number 4. He'll lead once again. We are halfway home in this one, or pardon me, we are not halfway home. Side-by-side battle for 3rd, 77G on the inside. Gary Spears up on the top side, Kevin Green. Tomlinson out for a Sunday drive right now as he leads over McSpadden. Up to the top of the racetrack goes Green. This is lap number 5, halfway home.
Halfway in and halfway to go, and it's been all the Tomlinson show here in this one. And what did we say? Kevin Green wasting absolutely 0 time getting to that 3rd spot there in the number 5. And here comes the number 35 machine. Got to talk to him earlier. Jeff Emerson. Emerson on that outside groove right there, trying to get around the number 77 and Spears for the 4th position. But the battle continues for that position as the battle for 2nd continues. Kevin Green and McSpadden, 2 of the best modified drivers in the Lone Star State.
Absolutely. 2 sticks in the air that time by for your race leader. That battle is for 2nd as you check in on Race On Texas. Out of turn number 2, McSpadden up on the top side. Here's Kevin Green down on the bottom. McSpadden slams the door. White flag in the air. One more time around. Quarter mile to go. Eric Tomlinson. But the battle is for 2nd.
One lap to go, but a lot of business to take care of here as McSpadden holds off Green for that 2nd position. Battle for 4th, also up for grabs, but off of turn number 4, from flag to flag, no trouble. Tomlinson, winner of heat race number 1 with the modifieds. McSpadden will take 2nd over Kevin Green. Spears doing a solid job holding off Emerson for 4th. Emerson was finishing the top 5 with 19-year-old Matthew Day finishing behind them as the checkered flag flies. How about it, race fans? Flag to flag, no trouble. Your winner in car number 45 from Robinson, Texas, Eric Tomlinson.
Dominating win for car number 45T as he does indeed go flag to flag right there, and that is a very familiar spot for Eric Tomlinson, veteran race driver, as he wins, and he wins again, the driver out of Robinson. Heat race number 2 rolling out onto the racetrack. Your starting lineup on the point out of Harker Heights. In the 163, it is Hard Time Hardy Henderson. On the outside, out of Red Oak in the AJ, it is John White. Row 2 on the inside, out of Coppers Cove as well, to 7G at David Good Jr. On the outside, out of the booming metropolis of Taylor, Texas, it is Chris Morris in car number 94. Final row on the point right here, out of Stephenville, car number 27 is Mike White. And Chase Dowdy out of Ennis in the 716 as we go. 8 cars, 6 laps. IMCA Modified Heat Race number 2.
Keep your eye on the number 94, Chris Morris. Man, oh man, the handyman coming off a fresh win at the Cotton Bowl Speedway 2 weeks ago. Obviously, Chris Morris, one of the best to come out of Texas in the modified division. Green flag is out, side by side. We're underway in heat race number 2, Rodney.
Off we go down into turn number 1. It's John White up on the outside. 4 wide down into the corner. They stretch it out. Here's Morris going down to the inside. Hardy Henderson up on the top side. Morris down on the bottom. David Good Jr. right behind him. Morris up the racetrack. A little bit of contact right there, and they're still having contact. Hardy Henderson laying into the right side right there. He did not appreciate that little slide job attempt, and now he goes right into him. 3 wide coming out of the corner. They race onto the backstretch.
Well, they may have made contact that last lap, but you know who really came out happy out of that one? David Good Jr. David Good up to second, but man, oh man, John White absolutely checked out down the back straightaway with this one.
John White is your race leader last time by 2.38 seconds. Here's White out of turn number 4 as he rim rides around the top of the quarter-mile high bank. Heart of Texas Speedway. The battle right now appears to be shaping up for the 4th spot right there. Chris Morris hanging on. Here's Chase Dowdy all over the back bumper as you check back in on Race on Texas All Access. Out of turn number 4, John White as he is trailed by David Good Jr. racing into turn number 1.
4 in, 6 to go here in this one. Right rear quarter panel rubbing on the right rear tire of the 94 of Chris Morris. Hopefully that don't put that right rear down. But right now, man, oh man, John White absolutely putting a blistering speed up front every single lap on my race pass. It's a faster and faster and faster lap. So he's very consistent, super fast up front, and it's going to take a lot for someone to take him down.
John White checking out from the field. David Good Jr. rides in the 2nd spot in car number 7. Hardy Henderson, Chris Morris, and Chase Dowdy. Onto the back straightaway we go. John White in firm command as he lays that car over up on the top side. Not quite on the cushion, but he'll make his way down that time by. That is lap number 7. Lap number 7 that time by. This next time by, we will see 2 sticks in the air. 2 laps to go for John White in car number 8.
Yeah, 2 laps to go, and your leaders up front all checked out. But how about this battle here for 4th as Morris holding off Donner there in the number 715. Looking to the inside, Morris holds him off of corner number 4, though. This time, wave of the white flag. Man, oh man, he has been absolutely smoother than cream cheese in a bagel. John White up front in the number 8.
John White all the way out of Red Oak, Texas. He rides into Heart of Texas Speedway, and he absolutely dominates heat race number 2. He'll take it between turns 3 and 4. David says, checkered flag in the air. Give it to John White. 10 laps, heat race number 2. David Good Jr. will come home second, followed by the 163 of Hardy Henderson. It'll be the 4th place car of Chris Morris, and rounding out the top 5, Chase Dowdy in the 716, John White. But Ruben, we watched it right there. Heat race number 1. Tomlinson, wire-to-wire in dominating fashion. Heat race number 2, wire-to-wire, dominating fashion. John White, we're set for one heck of a main event.
And you know, there's so much good talent behind them. This feature is just going to be absolutely hammered down and really good.
IMCA Southern Sport Mods onto the racetrack for their first heat race of the night. Set to go, your starting lineup on the point out of Bartlett in car number 51. It's James Kelly on the outside, Keith Tomlinson in the 65T. Row 2 on the inside, Caleb Everson out of Weatherford on the outside, Mason Day. Row 3 on the inside out of Robinson in the 12 is Brandon Guerin on the outside in the 77 or in the 07G. Out of Dallas, Big D Dallas, it's Walter Hamilton. Row number 4. In the 4JR, it is Boone Evans out of Bullard, and rounding out the pack, there he is, the one and only. All you have to say is the last name. The legend is here tonight. How great is it to see the great Paul White on the racetrack here tonight at Heart of Texas Speedway. IMCA Southern Sport Mods getting set for heat race action. We'll flash the lights at him, and we will get set to go. Actually, on the point, it is Emerson. A little bit of a lineup shift right there. Lights are out around the speedway. They are in the start zone. Emerson can go whenever he is set to go. Here they come, Ruben. Green flag in the air. We're racing at Heart of Texas Speedway.
Oh, yeah, and it's the Southern Sport Mods. And a 1 and 2, the number 35 of Caleb Emerson going to show the way down the back straightaway. Obviously, the son of Emerson in the modified off of corner number 4. He will come around to lead lap number 1 here over the number 12 machine of Brandon Guerin.
Brandon Guerin right there in car number 12. Guerin takes a peek down on the inside, but it continues to be Emerson hanging on up on the top side. Guerin, as they continue to rim right around the racetrack, no grip down on the bottom. Everybody working on the top side as they motor their way around. They're working on lap number 3.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone really starts to go down to that bottom groove, and there we see one car going down there. The number 54 of Mason Day. Mason Day, well, that's actually, Mason Day trying to run that bottom groove, but just can't really get enough speed down there. Right now, it's all the way to the top, and we'll see if things change here in just a couple laps.
4 cars trying to get away from the pack. Here comes Paul White, 4-car breakaway up at the front. Caleb Emerson, Brandon Garrett, Mason Day. That is how they run. Your top 4 race cars on the racetrack. Sandwiched in between them right there is that car number 4, JR of Boone Evans. And here they come, motoring out of turn number 4. Here comes Paul White in car number 1.
Yeah, he's looking really solid up there, but how about that number 4 machine as well? Looking pretty good down there as well. Looks like he's trying to get that bottom groove going here, trying to take second away from the number 12 of Brandon Guerin, but Guerin holding him off here as we're halfway in, halfway to go.
2 sticks in the air that time by.
Oh, trouble for your race leader, the number 35 of Emerson, up and over 1 and 2.
Right over the top, and that'll give it to Brandon Guerin. Here they come. White flag in the air. Quarter mile to go this time by for Brandon Guerin at car number 12. The 4-car rides in the second spot. That is Boone Evans. They go single file. Day is right there. Paul White has caught the pack. Brandon Guerin, the beneficiary there of Emerson's trouble. Checkered flag in the air this time by. Give it to Brandon Guerin at car number 12. He wins another one here at Heart of Texas Speedway. Followed by the 4JR of Boone Evans. Third place, Mason Day in car 54. And rounding out the top 4 in the P1, it is Paul White. Man, how about that? Emerson in cruise control. But Brandon Guerin, the recipient right there of some really, really good luck, and he will roll across the scales in position number 1.
Yeah, tough break obviously for Day there, but hey, he still has the feature.
Here comes heat race number 2 rolling out onto the racetrack. Your starting lineup set to be on the point out of Temple. Jack Lewis, car number 91. 21 team is Taylor Florio on the outside. Row 2 on the inside. Jeff Shepard out of Waco. Trevor Cogburn, Little Nasty on the outside in the 601. Row 3 on the inside, the 5X of Michael Dabney, your point leader. On the outside, Joel Garcia, car number 23. And Jared Branson out of Burleson rounds out the pack. 7 cars, 8 laps, IMCA Southern Sport Mods. As the rain begins to fall ever so slightly, Ruben. So we'll see how this works out. Here we go, a little bit of a lineup shift right here as well. It's Jeff Shepard on the point. He'll bring the field around. We are set to go in the birdcage. Green and going. We are off and racing.
Jack Lewis and Taylor Florio down the front row, and Taylor Florio going to lead the boys down the back straightaway. She's going to show the boys how it's done as Florio drives away with it down the back straightaway. Jack Lewis will not gamble it on the inside. He'll stay right around the outside. Florio leads lap number 1.
Taylor Florio into turn number 1. She's got a bumper full of Jeff Shepard. Shepard is right there. Michael Dabney up on the top side. Back straightaway they go. Cogburn runs in the 4th spot. Here comes the 17. Almost up to the back bumper. Good drive right there for Florio off of turn number 4. She'll lead another lap. That is lap number 2 for Taylor Florio.
Now the battle for third. Dabney and the number 5 going to feel the pressure from the number 601 of Trevor Cogburn. Little Nasty going to go to the inside, down the back straightaway. Can't make it happen. The number 5 of Michael Dabney holds off Cogburn for the 3rd spot.
Michael Dabney once again, fantastic move right there as he goes to that final podium spot. Onto the back straightaway we go. And it's getting awful racy up at the front right there. 17 car making some major moves. Here's Jeff Shepard searching for the back bumper of Taylor Florio, but Miss Taylor is holding on very nicely up at the front of the pack.
Yeah, Shepard going to go just a little bit lower in turns 1 and 2. Shepard really playing the patient game here. Florio, though, just minding her own business up front, driving her own race, looking pretty solid here in the 21. But you can tell Shepard is ready to pounce at any moment. He goes to the inside of Florio, side by side, off of corner number 2. Florio holds on to the lead.
Florio able to hold on. Here's Shepard up on the top side once again. 2 sticks in the air. 2 more times around in heat race number 2. To the inside. Shepard. Now he'll go up to the top side. Florio slings it into the corner. Back straightaway we go. A lap and a half to go this time by for your IMCA Southern Sport Mods. Jeff Shepard half a car length behind. White flag in the air. Ruben, take us home. Taylor Florio leads.
Oh boy, that's the final lap of this heat race, and it's going to be a good one. Florio holding on to the lead. Shepard right there. Shepard now going to go to the outside. The outside is open. Off of corner number 4. Florio holds Shepard off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is going to fly. Taylor Florio shows the boys how it's done here in heat race number 2.
Great drive right there for Taylor Florio. Had the veteran driver right there behind her, Jeff Shepard. She's able to hold Shepard off. A little bit of contact right there. A lurking Michael Dabney will come home 3rd. And then Little Nasty, Trevor Cogburn. Fantastic racing there in your IMCA Southern Sport Mods Heat Race number 2, rolling out onto the racetrack. We continue rolling along. Here comes Joe Spillman's favorite class, your IMCA stock cars on the point. In the 94A out of Taylor, it is Allison Morris on the outside. Car number 57 out of El Mott, Kevin Smith. Row 2 on the inside out of Waco in the 20T, Thomas Hall. On the outside out of Killeen, the 97 of Doug Lorenz. Row 3 on the inside, the 489 out of Killeen of Anthony Yotkin. On the outside, the 13G of David Gooch Jr. Row 4 on the inside, Dustin Mooney, the point leader out of Fortney. On the outside, Cameron Cook all the way out of Grand Prairie. Final row down on the inside, row number 5, the 75 of Wesley Warren. On the outside, Jack Bramson out of Burleson in the 129. 8 laps. 10 cars, my friends, 10 cars, 19 entries tonight.
Pretty good car count for the stock cars as we get ready to rock and roll off of turn number 4. Allison Morris and Kevin Smith lead us into 1 and 2, and it's going to be Kevin Smith all up front in the number 57, but here comes the 97 of Doug Lorenz, wasting 0 time from the outside of row number 2, trying to take the race lead from Kevin Smith. A little bit of beating and banging into 1 and 2. They're going to go side by side off of corner number 4. Who's going to lead lap number 1? At the line, just by the nose, the 57 of Kevin Smith.
And I'll tell you what, Ruben, we got a smoker back there in the pack. I think it's Anthony Otkin in the 489, as now the rain really beginning to pick up here at Heart of Texas Speedway. Here's Lorenz going to the inside. Kevin Smith up on the top side. They slide it out of turn number 4. Smith down into turn number 1. Down on the inside, Doug Lorenz trying to find something right there. Allison Morris. Great move by Dustin Mooney. He slices in between and makes the pass there on Anthony Otkin. The action is up at the front of the pack. It continues to be Smith and Doug Lorenz.
Yeah, Doug Lorenz just keeps giving the 57 of Kevin Smith everything he's got, whether it's the inside, the outside of him, down the back straightaway. He's going to try to pull up next to him down the back straightaway and can't quite make it happen. Kevin Smith holding on to the race lead, but here comes Lorenz back to the inside. Don't look now though, Rodney, but the number 21 machine as well. He's making his way through the field, and I know he's a big name around these parts of town.
That is the point leader, Dustin Mooney, right now. He's made his way to the 4th spot, and now he is all over the back bumper of Allison Morris as they make their way around. This is lap number 5. Smith holding on, Lorenz, Allison Morris, Dustin Mooney. That is your top 4 as you check in on Race on Texas. All access onto the back straightaway we go. Caution flag. Caution flag on the racetrack, and that is most likely. We've got lightning in the area. We've got rain falling, and I'll tell you what, I hate to see the caution, because that was one hell of a race.
It really was.
Going on right there.
But at the same time, I like to see this caution because, come on, he has 3 wins already here this season. Dustin Mooney got the opportunity to drive this car for that team and have 3 wins already here this season. He's a top dog in these parts of Texas, and man, oh man, you can see him turning left and right, trying to get some heat in those tires, be good in this restart. To have him behind your leaders right now in just a few moments is going to be very exciting as well.
And sitting right there in between them is that 94A. It is Allison Morris. She has done a nice job here in the stock cars as she sits there running right there with some of the best. But we'll motor them around here under caution as we wait for race control to kind of determine what we're going to do right here. Let's take a look as we get set for a Texas 2-step restart. Obviously out on the point, it'll be Kevin Smith in car number 57. We'll double stack them and go side by side. Doug Lorenz rides in the 2nd spot. Allison Morris, Dustin Mooney. That is how they run when the caution flag came out at that point. Getting set to go. David Gooch Sr. We're ready to rock and roll. We're re-rack, restack. Green flag in the air. We are racing once again at Heart of Texas Speedway. Great drive. Kevin Smith. Doug Lorenz right behind him. Side by side. Good down on the inside. Morris up on the top side. Contact. Cameron Cook. Everybody stays nice and clean. Look at that battle up at the front, Ruben. Here comes Doug Lorenz in car number 97.
Yeah, Doug Lorenz and Dustin Mooney. Oh my, 2 to go. Down the front straightaway, the number 57 of Kevin Smith. I don't know how, Rodney. If I was leading this one, I would have spun out because, man, the pressure is on, and here comes Mooney.
They go side by side down into the corner. White flag, quarter mile, one more time to go. Here they come. Dustin Mooney goes to the 2nd spot. Allison Morris sits behind him. Kevin Smith. Up the track goes Mooney. Here comes Doug Lorenz down into the corner. A little bit of contact as they touch right there. Smith hanging on. Mooney's going to try to get the drive off the corner. Checkered flag. Give it to Kevin Smith.
Oh!
Doug Lorenz.
What a race. What a race, Rodney.
That is how you do it right there.
That is Heart of Texas at its finest right there. That is awesome.
Who says rain races can't be that damn good, my friend?
Exactly. Exactly. Wow, that was absolutely awesome. 3-car battle for the lead. How about it, race fans? Give him a huge round of applause. Your heat race winner, Kevin Smith. Good news. We got another one.
Yeah, heat race number 2. Here come the stock cars. On the point, Daniel Shipler out of Kempner on the outside. Justin Wyringa out of Killeen, row 2 on the inside. Zach Terry out of Riesel on the outside. Michael Wofford out of Burleson, car 27, row 3 on the inside. Out of Waco, Thomas Hall Jr. Jason Batt, the acrobat on the outside, car number 9 out of Harker Heights. Inside, double duty driver in the 4JR. It is Boone Evans out of Bullard on the outside. The 14A out of McDade. It is John Hobbs, and rounding out the pack, first time at Heart of Texas Speedway tonight, out of Manchac, the 28. It's the Crazy Horse, Sean Paul Lehman. All of that build up as we have a delay.
So, Rodney, real quick, getting official word from timing and scoring. Race fans, we thank you for your patience and cooperation. Obviously, we can't control Mother Nature, but we're going to go to a 15 to 20-minute break. Once again, 15 to 20-minute break. Please keep your ticket stubs. Find shelter under the grandstands. Grab yourself something to eat, something to drink. Again, per timing and scoring, and everyone here at Heart of Texas Speedway, thank you for your patience and cooperation. 15 to 20-minute break, and we'll come back with an update. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hang out with us, folks, and remember, with that lightning in the area, you do have some aluminum grandstands, so kind of be cognizant of that. We will keep you updated with what is going on. Little rain delay happening right here under the Friday night lights at the world-famous Heart of Texas Speedway. Somewhere in here there's another headset, but I don't know if it's got extenders. I have my own headset at home. I should have just brought it. Yeah, I should have mentioned that to you. I should have mentioned that to you. I figured I didn't need it out. It's got the one going to be in here. And honestly, I mean, for me, the headset is so I have my hands free. I talk with my hands. Oh yeah, I use a headset all the time. Yeah.
I have one in his like. Then I'm gonna be miserable in here. Somebody went the last. Oh God! Look.